Hi girls, I love your face. Today we're going to make a chicken curry, and on the side I'm going to have garlic naan. So I call this my naan ya business naan because it makes the girls cringe. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my hot water. It is 104 degrees, and I'm going to add my yeast to it so that it can bloom. So I'm going to put in 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, active dry yeast that I keep in the fridge, or one of the packets if you have the packets. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of sugar to feed the yeast, and we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes. My dry ingredients, I have 2 1/4 cup of AP flour. I'm going to add to that some granulated garlic, 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt, and I have this King Arther Easy Roll dough improver that I use in pizza doughs, naan, and in cakes, and it wants 1 tablespoon per cup of flour. And what this does is allow, once you start rolling the dough, to prevent it from snapping back. It makes it easier to roll out into shapes like we're going to do today for the naan. So I'm going to let the yeast continue to get ready. Okay girls, it's been about 10 minutes, and look at how glorious this foamy yeast sugar mixture is. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into my dry ingredients. I did use a whisk and combine those all. It also calls for a half a cup of Greek yogurt. That's really what gives naan its distinction, I think, is adding the yogurt. You can use full fat or you can use low fat, either way. And then I need about a tablespoon of olive oil. I like to give this a cursory mix and just kind of combine things before I put them in the mixer. I'm not really trying to make this a homogeneous dough, but I just kind of want to get it a little bit of a start, a head start. And then I'm going to put it in my mixer with the dough hook, and I'm going to let it go on medium speed for about 5 to 6 minutes until the dough comes together. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay girls, Meredith Gray has done all the hard work for us. It's been about 5-6 minutes. Oh, no wonder I couldn't get it off. And this mixture has come together in a ball. It's nice and soft and sticks together. It's not a dry dough. It's easy to move. You could do this by hand, but why bother? So it's a very soft dough. You see how that leaves just a little indentation? So I'm going to put it into a glass bowl. I'm going to coat with a little oil so it doesn't stick. Cover it with plastic wrap, and I'm going to put it in an oven and just have the light on in the oven. That gives it just enough heat to allow the yeast to do its magic in the oven. So we'll take a look at it in an hour. Okay girls, while that's going away in the oven, I'm going to make a little dipping sauce or butter mixture that as I take them off the griddle, I will brush them with this. So this is a stick of melted butter. I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic paste, about a teaspoon of garlic salt, no, granulated garlic. I like to add my own salt. And then I've got some parsley chopped up here, probably a tablespoon of parsley. I have some flaky sea salt that I'll add, and kind of zhuzh that together. So when they come off hot off the stove, we'll just brush a little of this goodness right over them. And that's what makes it also garlic naan. All right. Okay, girls, it's been 1 hour and I just took this out of the oven. It was not on the oven. It just had the light on to give it some warmth. And you can see that this is doubled in size. That's so fun. So I'm going to take this out and shape it into a log, and we're going to cut 8 pieces from this. It depends on what size you want your naan to be. You could make this into 10 or 12. If you wanted something smaller, you can make them into bigger ones if you're going to use it as a wrap. So I'm just going to take my dough cutter, cut it in half, and each of those in half. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of rolling pin, just a smidge of flour, and roll these out. They can be whatever shape you want them to be. I kind of end up doing more of an oval. And I'm not trying to squish all the air out, but I want to make them as flat and uniform as I can. You get something like that, and I'm going to lay it on my tray. Let's do another one. I kind of make it to where the top has kind of the where all the edges are in the bottom. And I start rolling from the center out and turn it a little bit as you roll. And that dough improver helps keep these from springing back to nothing. All right, I'm just going to roll out the rest of these. Okay, I've got my tray and I've got them stacked one on top of each other, but I've got a layer of press and seal in between each one. So now I'm going to clear the decks and I'm going to set up our cooking station. Okay, girls, I'm trying something new. I had a different griddle that we used to make pancakes on all the time, but it died after 15 years. So I got this new one from Walmart, and it's got a big flat cooking surface. So I cook these naan in either a dry skillet or on the Blackstone, but I thought this might be a great way to do it indoors, where you can get a lot of real estate and cook several, because if you do it in a skillet one at a time, it takes a while and it's boring. So I'm going to try to cook these and see how well they do. Let them get golden brown. You can see some bubbles already starting to form here. I put this one on first. And as I take them off the heat, I'm going to slather them in this kind of compound butter that we made with the garlic, the salt, the parsley, and it's just going to be delicious. And then as a last little treat, I'm going to sprinkle them with some flaky salt. All right, so we'll see how this goes. I've got my temperature up to close to 400, between 350 and 400. And we'll just see how. Just take a couple of minutes on each side, and you can see they get golden brown in color. And the texture changes to where it's a little bit more firm when they're cooked all the way through. So that's when you know you can pull them. So we're going to take our mixture. I did have to reheat this in the microwave. And we're just going to stack one on top of the other in that butter. Perfect. And a little flaky salt for the win. Okay, girls, that griddle was awesome. It made quick work. Look at this pile of homemade goodness. And look, it's healthy. There's a vegetable on it. Just gonna take a little piece off here and show you how soft it is. It is so delicious. And it will sop up all that goodness in our curry later. You can use these in so many different ways. But that is good, and your house smells wonderful. You should give this a try. None your business garlic naan.